Welcome to Like, Love, Share by BabbleBox, the show where marketers and creators go behind the post to unpack what actually drives attention, trust, and impact on social. We spotlight smart growth hacks, breakout campaigns, and real-world influencer case studies from emerging brands to cultural moments you might have missed. Whether you're building a brand, growing a platform, or shaping what's next in influencer marketing, Like, Love, Share is your source for ideas worth spreading. If you care about reach, relevance, and results, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to have Jeff Khadavi here from KidBox. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sherry. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I know we've just recently started speaking and getting to know each other better. And I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about KidBox.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. We are an early stage tech company, so we're still in beta, rapidly iterating on our core product. We raised a $2.5 million seed round. We're a lean team of just 4 of us full time. As far as what we do, on one side of it, we want to enable amazing content for kids in 2 forms. So we have physical books. So we print out, books. And on the other side of it, we're really excited to be launching a mobile app really soon that we feel represents good screen time for our kids. So it's powered by an amazing library of content. So yeah, we're going to be launching our app very soon and under the name KidBox. And I think what's really important to note about what we do is that we have this creator platform that really powers our content. So I don't know, Sherry, if you've ever had an idea for a children's book.
I had one this morning. I'm not gonna, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. What is it about?
I tell you.
Okay. Well, hopefully our platform can help enable that for you. So we have this really neat creation wizard that could help bring the story to life. We feel like there are thousands of compelling untold stories from people like yourself, parents, teachers, health counselors, aspiring authors, and those stories never get told. So we want to enable that library of stories. In some respects, we like to say we're democratizing storytelling.
So let me ask you a question, because this is all built on the foundation of AI.
It is, yeah. So we see our platform as AI enabled. So we're not trying to write the story, your story for you. We kind of want to turbocharge you and enable you. So you might not have wrote that story that, we don't know about yet, but we're trying to break down the barrier and kind of give you the tools, if that makes sense.
Right, because traditionally I'd have to go find like a sketch artist or an illustrator. And, now all of a sudden, what drew you to the kid publishing space?
So I think as a co-founder of any company, it's important to identify with the problem firsthand. I'm a father of 3 boys, 7, 5, and 2, never a dull moment. I feel the pain associated with negative screen time. It's like overstimulating for our kids. It's kind of junk food. But as a parent, sometimes you just need 10 minutes of free time to keep the kids occupied. You feel guilty about it, but you got to do what you got to do. But what if we can create good screen time? And, that fosters a love of reading, of stories, of, taps into their imagination. And so, yeah, that's what we really want to create. And that really teaches them things. So, yeah, with any company being a co-founder, you have the term is like eating your own dog food, where you basically have to use.
Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. So me and my co-founders, when we were in our 20s, for example, we had a company called GoTime, and we had a relatively successful product called Happy Hours that would let you, for cheap, experience drinking and eating on a budget. It was, it had over 1 million downloads, and it kind of helped, put us on the map and lead to a great outcome for our company. But we were using that product, for ourselves. And so we get it. We were the users. Or in our 30s, my co-founder, Josh, he created an app for people with type 1 diabetes that would monitor his blood sugar. And, he himself understood that problem set. And, that app was eventually acquired by Tandem Diabetes Care. And, he had unique insight into that problem. So the point is, you have to live and breathe the problem you're solving. And so that's what kind of got us into this space and trying to create, great content for our kids.
I think of my mom, it's like a different medium, but I learned everything I know from Sesame Street, because I'd be in front of that TV and it was like Sesame Street it was. So
Mr. Rogers too, right? That was truly, look, it's TV, but you want, your child to be enriched. You know that they're learning something. And just like Mr. Rogers, I love, right? He's so soothing, his voice. And so, yeah, I think we want to create content of that caliber for kids.
And are you able to show us a little bit of what it looks like?
Sure. Well, I guess I'll start. Well, first of all, I'll kind of show you, talking about eating one's own dog food. This is my kids. This is actually this morning where I needed 10 minutes. My wife was on a walk, so I had all three of them and I needed to get ready. But you can kind of see here, they're reading a story. You can kind of see here, it's actually a story about eating healthy, Benny's bout with broccoli. And so here, the words are showing up. It's an animated story. It's still, we've talked to reading teachers about it. It's still kind of, fosters, reading by having the words be highlighted. It's not too much stimulation, but it's, enriching. I can kind of show you that story live on our platform. This is, Benny's bout with broccoli. This one actually shows, yeah, so you can kind of see, I'll just show you like what the read aloud.
But relented. Few minutes, she presented pizza topped with broccoli. What a treat. It'd be something Benny would like to eat.
So, yeah, so like right there, it's an original story. We created it. But like I said, the whole power here is,
Anyone could do it.
Anyone can do it using our creator tools. They can create a story about anything. We'll help you write it, illustrate it. You have full editorial oversight over it. You could change anything.
It's like Shutterfly, but building your own digital.
Yeah. We've kind of compared it with Canva for children's books specifically, like in that vertical.
So if I did a book, can I monetize it? Like, can I sell it? How does that work?
Yeah, so we are hooked up to printers. So if you want to kind of publish it to our library, like I said, we want to create this like amazing library of thousands and thousands of books from storytellers across all walks of life. Like I showed you, we have printers that we're hooked up to. You don't have to take inventory or buy it. We'll publish your story. Anyone could kind of read it. And if they want to purchase the physical copy, you will get a royalty on every sale. So you'll get an email that somebody from Ohio read your book, they loved it. Maybe they'll share it with people, depending on, whatever topic it could be. People could search for it. And then, yeah, you will be able to monetize that story.
Technically, any creator in our network or any brand can go and create a book. For a brand, it could be used for promotional.
Yeah.
And for a creator, it could be used like, I want to sell these books.
Yeah, you could sell it to, your followers could kind of, so you could promote it and your followers could buy it. Or, maybe, hopefully we have an audience through our mobile app. And other people might buy it as well. And again, there's no cost to create. You don't have to buy the books. Everything is printed on demand. So if somebody orders it, we send it to our printer, and our printer will take care of the shipping, fulfillment, and it'll just reach them. And hopefully your story gets told.
That is amazing. I know how hard it is to start a new business. So what are some of the challenges or an unforeseen challenge that you've had? I mean, obviously AI is moving so fast, so that's got to be something that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, look, on one hand, AI is an enabler, right? But it's also a challenge in some respects. So like, illustrations, for example, are a big part of what we do. And it's really remarkable, but they're not perfect. So early versions of our product were good, but a lot of the times the images would deviate from what we would want it to do. And it's just like so frustrating.
The bunny's hopping instead of walking.
Yeah, or like his character consistency would change from page to page. And so we really had to work on that. But, AI models are getting better every week, and they're getting, better. And so as the models get better, our product gets better. And I think that's important for any startup to kind of position themselves to assume the models are going to continue to get better and better every week, and that you're not going to lose from that and it's going to replace you, but your underlying product will get better. And then I guess just more generally as a founder, a challenge is you have a big vision and you want to do it all. You want to build every feature. You want the thing to be pixel perfect before you show it to your friends in the world. But on the other side of that, that might not necessarily be the best strategy. We actually just finished reading a book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, which is a great one. But yeah, and he really emphasizes just getting your MVP, your minimum viable product out there as fast as possible, treat everything like an experiment, test your assumptions, and then just iterate and not overbuild. But that's always a challenge for, any founder who just has such a big vision and just kind of breaking it down.
Look, even boils down to like a tactic. Like I'm like, oh, let's restart our podcast, and like something was wrong with the quality, and I'm like, we can't post this, and my team's like, just post it. I'm like, we can't. It's everything.
Exactly.
Founder, you want it to be super perfect.
Totally. We feel that every second.
Yeah. So I'm gonna flip the switch to talk about where I look at things as advertising, and obviously you're gonna get to that area if you haven't already. I have this dog that pops up in my feed, which I'm obsessed with. It's Coco, and I was like, he's so cute, and he talks, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's an AI dog, and that kind of makes me think, like, what do you think AI, because this is where you're living and residing, what do you think it's going to do to advertising?
So it's definitely changing things. So like me, for example, I played around with Instagram and Facebook ads, and they're incorporating AI in like a really powerful way. Before I might have had to write copy for 10 different versions of a potential ad, and I would have to do that myself. And now with like one button in their ad interface, it's like click here and let Meta run 10 different versions of your ad copy, and they'll automatically like ABCD test it. They'll know which one performs the best in real time, and then they'll automatically converge and just like run that most optimized version of it, which is pretty crazy. And I think also just companies themselves have a lot more creative tools to use. So like things that would have taken days, weeks, months to create now takes hours, like a sample ad. So I'm not saying that AI is doing everything for you, like a creative task, like writing an ad, or in our case, writing a story. It's not going to replace it, but it's an enabler. So I guess the way I see it where we sit today is like AI is not 100% end to end. Like it should start with a human and then end with a human. But like that creative person can prompt it up front. So the human part, they have a vision for what they want to create. AI will create.
They approve it.
Huh?
And then they approve it.
Yeah, or not even just approve it. Like they'll get an amazing first version. Then from there, they'll have to modify it. They'll play around. They'll basically mold it. Like maybe it gave you the first 85% of what you liked. And then you can kind of basically then mold it to exactly what you want. And you've kind of got to the end in a much more efficient amount of time. But like I said, it's middle to middle. Like it's not end to end. I think it still starts with a human, at least where we sit today, and it still ends with a human. And that's how we look at our stories created on our platform. Like they're not AI generated. We are enabling, hopefully you, Sherry, to kind of give it your vision. Yeah, and see it create something really great. But then from there, you'll have to kind of edit it. You'll have to tweak it. You'll have to make it exactly what you want. But there's still a creator behind it. And I see the same thing with even ad copy or any creative tasks. I still think that that's the era we're in.
I think too, like, because I keep going back to this Coco, like everyone's like, oh, it was probably like November, December. I had 10 people call me, influencers going away, creators are going away. It's going to be all AI. I'm telling you, it's AI. I'm like, no, they're still human. But when you see a dog like Coco that now has hundreds of thousands of followers, and it's a fake, maybe it's based on a real dog, I don't know, but he's so cute. Like, could he not be on an ad? But do you think that the real creators could be replaced by endearing, likable creators?
So Sam Altman has a great quote about this, because we think about this too, because we're a creator-enabled platform. He says, even if AI could write the best novel in the world, people would still want to read books written by people. So I think that that's really important. So like 2 examples of stories written on our platform. Here's an example of one book. It's called My Whole Grief, written by Dr. Dan Wolfson and Jordan Gross, who are kind of child grief counselors who kind of on a day-to-day basis coach children who have lost a parent. And I saw, what went into this, and it's rooted in years and years of their experience of speaking to kids every day, understanding exactly what language they use. And I gave them a really good starting point, but it didn't. Like they really went in there, and every word was crafted so carefully, every illustration. Here's another one from someone named Rachel Hoffman. It's about a child getting an MRI. It's a very anxiety-induced, thing to do. And like you can kind of see here, like I can just read you, like I could remind myself it's okay to feel nervous and brave at the same time. To relax, I could listen to music, or I might even imagine that the machine is a giant donut. Yum. This is her language. Like I don't think that, I saw it firsthand. I think AI really enabled Rachel and Dan and Jordan to create something so powerful, but it's rooted in their experience that I don't think could replace. And quite frankly, on the other end of it, I don't think parents would want to read the grief story from AI, right? Like knowing that Dr. Dan Wolfson and Jordan Gross are the ones behind this story. So that goes back to the Altman quote. All else held equal, even if AI might be able to create something a little bit, might feel the same, knowing that there's a human counselor behind it, I think gives it a special level of credibility.
You're right. Yeah. So I know that there are so many applications for what you have done. And one of the questions I have is like, if you had to tell a brand or a creator, like using AI, go do this. But I realized that the go do this would probably be go create a book, because that could be powerful, right?
Yeah, I think, obviously I'm very biased, but especially with children, right? Like storytelling is such an authoritative way to learn a lesson, right? If it's in the book. And so it's like the most powerful way it's at times to get really like messages across to kids. Like, if I want to teach them about sharing or, hey, it's okay to lose. Like, and what do you say? Kindness? Yeah, exactly. Things like that. So I don't know. I think storytelling, especially for kids that are, under, eight and under, is such a powerful way. It's also a tool for parents too, right? It's not just to help my kid, but like I need to broach something that's a little bit challenged. So if I knew I had a book that Rachel wrote that helped me kind of broach this topic, again, you could see how serious, like, obviously stories could get entertaining and fun, but like we could also tackle some serious topics, right? And
it's like any professional, like the dentist could have a book in his office and,
about teaching kids about the importance of keeping their teeth clean, or
yeah.
pediatrician, or here's one about
Skydiving. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, not yet. But like this is one about an allergist wrote about helping a child newly diagnosed with a peanut allergy. And you have to teach real lessons there. Like you can't just eat the cake at the birthday party. You have to ask a parent, like, does this have peanut in it? And so that's a really effective way. Yeah. So yeah, we're biased, but we see it firsthand that storytelling is a powerful way. And yeah, hopefully, I think we believe that, I'm sure a lot of your influencers have great, expertise in different topics like, parenting, or even if it's just like an everyday dad who wants to, passionate about baseball or basketball. Like I feel like I could write the best basketball story because I'm a huge, Knicks fan, and I know exactly the words to use because I'm doing that at night, telling like fake bedtime stories to my kids. But I think that there could be a bigger audience there than just, my own child. I'd love to publish it and see if other people resonate with that same message.
It's amazing what you've built. So before I get to my last question, how can people find you?
Follow us on KidBox, go to kidbox.com, create a story, give our tools a test drive. Like I said, we're still in beta. Let us know how it went. Hopefully you could publish it, or email me at jeff@kidbox. And if you want a free print of your story, just for trying it out, we'll let you print it out and we'll send a copy so you can kind of see your work firsthand.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you. The one question I ask at the end of every interview is kind of tricky. Some people feel uncomfortable, but here we go.
Okay.
An influencer you love to follow but hate to admit that you do.
Oh, wow. I feel like I have to give something in the parenting vein because that's what I'm living and breathing every day. I would say two influencers who I really like on Instagram. One is Big Little Feelings. So they're like two child therapists and parent coaches. And I like it because it's very real. This is a hard stage in life. They're not just giving you like the rosy part of it. And it's a little bit uplifting and motivating. And they have great perspective about and reminders about, parenting and the language you should use. And so even seeing a short clip from them before I go home kind of gets me in a good frame of mind. Another one I really like is the Food Babe. So she really pushes healthy eating for everyone, but especially kids. So she kind of takes on like the big food companies and like actively fighting to get like food dyes removed from the cereals. So like what's permissible here in the US is not permissible in Europe. And she kind of shows like the two labels of like Fruit Loops here and Fruit Loops in Europe and like using totally different ingredients. And it really like opened up my mind about it. So she's very fierce and passionate about the cause. Yeah, I mean, in both of those examples, you know, the authenticity is huge, right? Like if as creators they are using AI to enable themselves, like great, I think that's awesome, and they probably should and will at some point. I don't ever think that you could replace like their voice, their passion, their cause. Yeah, hopefully at some point they'll be creating books on KidBox that teach and foster those same lessons.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's lovely getting to know you, and we're going to be watching from afar.
All right, and I can't wait to see your story on KidBox. I'd love to see you, you know, the one that
I'm
we're not
going to do
allowed to know what it's about. You can't give us a sneak preview on the topic?
it. I have to, it happened at 6 in the morning, so I have to remember how to frame it.
Wow, wow. And I guess, Sherry, from your standpoint, I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think that some creators, like musicians and people are at risk that they're going to be replaced by AI?
No, not now.
No.
What you said, like, could I see, like, there's a lot of pet creators. So I'm going to go back to my dog. And could I see Coco, all of a sudden, this AI dog, whoever runs that account, getting sponsorships? Sure. Can I see Coco turning into an ad for brands? Sure. I think it's brilliant. I don't know if people would be so okay if that were a human.
Yeah, so I agree. I think like even like Taylor Swift is safe, right? Like there's no way that people are gonna, I don't know. I don't think that fully AI generated music will ever replace, right? Yeah, because I think you want to feel that connection to the artist to some extent. So I don't think we're gonna be going to like concerts, you know, that it's just yeah. But look, with that being said, I think AI can do really, really powerful things to enable the creative people. I think you're seeing, you know, a lot of companies like Ben Affleck's like movie studio or whatnot was recently acquired, and it had, you know, AI enablement. Again, I don't think it's replacing the creators. So I think two things could be true, right? Like AI could be a huge enabler, but it doesn't need to be a full replacement. So I think what I would tell your influencers or really anyone at this point, like I would just, you know, download Claude. It's a new AI model. You know, it's $20 a month. Use it and just push the limits on what it could do. And you might be amazed, right? Like treat it like a genius at your fingertips. And I think right now, like a lot of people are using AI for just like a simple question as a Google replacement, you know, like one simple task. But I would, you know, push the limits on what you think it could do. Give it your Instagram handle and ask for a thorough analysis of your social media and ask it what you think, or ask it to build a deck of, you know, best practices. You know, like it might take 20 minutes to do it. It's not just like a quick 5-second response. But I think, you know, things really changed in December in AI where people saw how good a model can
Just
do.
jumped.
There was a breakthrough. There was a breakthrough. And remember, today is always the worst the AI model will be because every week it's going to get better and better. But I think we were a little bit in like the wild, wild west. Everybody's still experimenting. So I think for any professional, just roll up your sleeves, get in there and test the limits on AI, and you might be amazed at what it could do. But I do not feel like it's a replacement. At least where we sit today, it is more an enabler, and the people who adopt it and push the limits and see how it could turbocharge them, you know, are going to be the people who are the most successful.
Amazing. I keep learning. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to see you.
You too. We'll speak soon.
All right, bye. Take care.
Bye. All right.